I go, so we're hitting everything you guys need. You know, everybody's getting taught the way they learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of what are you going to put into it now? Are you going to put in the work to read the packet to understand what you don't understand?
Yeah.
Are you going to put in the work to ask me, can you stay during lunch? Can you stay after school? You know, can you meet up earlier for me? I'm like, yeah, you know, you just let me know what you need for you to be, let me know what I need to do for you to be successful.
And see, and that's the thing is that I don't know sometimes if they even know what they need. You know what I mean? And that's the scary part is they don't even know what help to ask for, so they just don't. You know.
Yeah.
And that's a scary thing, and I think it's happening way too often. And like I said, I think with the lack of socialization that happens when you skip so many grades and are homeschooled, or you know what I mean, is a big deficit too because you miss those life moments that you get from being around peers and shit.
Yeah.
When your peer is like your high school crush is your brother, that's kind of weird. That's your only other classmate. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, yeah.
I don't see
my
how
wife
people don't
was
understand
homeschooled.
that.
And after we didn't put our youngest kid in daycare, our oldest son in daycare, and the middle one and the youngest one all went to daycare. And socially, they were more they you know excelled really well socially because they'd been around other kids.
Yeah,
and,
but
you know,
having two older brothers is gonna socialize you anyways, and it's gonna socialize you a whole different way. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's when you got like one child, or you know what I mean, and you're homeschooling them and shit. It's like, come on, guy, like, what are you doing? I think that might have been why I grew up so fast, was because I was always with my dad, and I got put in a lot of adult situations with a lot of adults, all real young.
Yep.
Which is why my dumbass was married in Germany, fucking with a kid, and coming back from my first deployment by the time I was 19.
Yeah. Sounds familiar too.
So I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's take on life at 18 like a jackass.
Because we know everything.
Oh, hell yeah.
My oldest son was 16 and he had it all figured out. I was like, you know what, man? I love you, but you should move out now. He goes, what? You should pack all your stuff up and move out now. You got it all figured out. You should move out now before you realize you don't know what you're doing.
Hey, don't play. I did.
You know what I mean?
My mom was 16.
Yep.
And that's why I learned I'm going to the motherfucking army. Because this shit sucks.
Yeah.
By the time I was 16, I was like, fuck this. I ain't doing shit. I'm a bum. I'm out.
Yeah, I was trying to explain to some of these guys. They want them all to go through our program at the college, but that's not
by
not
the time you get there,
realistic.
it's too late and it's too expensive.
Or for me, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't be doing as well in college right now as I am.
I wasn't ready out of high
went
school.
To the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. Honestly, what it was for me was seeing the lieutenants fresh out of college and partying, making twice as me as a sergeant, just getting back from my second deployment, crusty and fucking broken, like fucking. Is Dino Dick still making more than me? I'm like, nah, there's something with that piece of paper. Like, what the fuck?
Yep. So the oldest wants to do the military. I was like, that's cool. You're gonna make a great officer. What if I don't want to be an officer? I don't think you heard me.
Yeah.
I said you go make a great officer.
If you're gonna go into the Suckfest, at least get paid for it.
Yep, exactly.
And be comfortable. Like, that's what I tell my family no for the most part, unless they're fucking up, and I'm like, no, you need it. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
I've had one cousin so far that I've gotten enlisted right now that I'm like, she leaves soon, and it's a she. So
yeah, I've seen her talking about it.
Oh yeah, she's fucking. She's a wreck, man. I don't even know what to say about that kid. She was the first person I've ever told, no, you can't stay here. It's not good. Like, it's not healthy for you because I know how I'm living, and I'm like, that's too much if you're trying to clean your act up. Like, fucking.
Yep.
Got strippers running in out here all the time. Marijuana everywhere.
Yep. Don't want to do that marijuanas.
That damn evil marijuana. All right, so I'm gonna throw on. It'll come on and I have like 2 songs real quick. I might even cut the second one short, and then we'll just start going. And we'll just start going. We'll just start talking, whatever. We'll just go wherever it goes. You know what I mean?
Cool, man. All right.
But we'll definitely talk about the trade stuff because that's one thing I thought, like, what the fuck? I was wondering where it went because I know I wanted to take some automotive shit at my campus when I needed electives, and the only electives I had were like art and physical education. So I mean, like my senior year, they were like, "Dude, you've taken way too many social classes. You need elective credits." So like my senior year looked like a adult fucking kindergarten class. Like I had fucking like gym, yoga, basketball, like back to back to back, and then I had art the next on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I had like drawing and fucking I don't know sculpture or some shit. Fucking Tuesday, Thursday. That was my whole last semester. I'm like, you get your books? Yeah, I got my running shoes.
Yeah.
And pencils, like, what the fuck? But dude, when I was a vice president, still when I was like I think my junior year, and that's when I got shot by the Hells Angels and shit. And I had to call my professor and shit. I'm like, hey, I'm missing about a week of class. And they're like, oh, what happened? What's wrong? I was like, I just got shot, but I'll be back next week. They're like, no, what? No, take all time because this is a private Ivy League college. You know what I mean, like they don't get shit like that. So they're like, what the fuck? They got a kick out of me. I got escorted to class like twice.
Oh man, when I started showing up to the high school, they had a few security people that work around the high school, you know, and then they have the cop that
the truancy and shit.
Yeah.
I got hit up by all of them. Excuse me, are you lost? Are you looking for somebody? I'm like, no, I'm just going to class. Oh, who's in class? Well, my students, hopefully, but I teach here.
Right?
Oh, you're the diesel. Yeah, pull up on a Harley. That's going to make a few people raise their eyebrow. Like, wait a minute.
Oh, no, I would pull up rocking colors.
Yeah.
I would pull in straight up rocking colors because that's what I did. If I'm on my bike, I'm in my colors. And the motorcycle parking was right in front of the campus building.
Nice.
So then they escorted me to class. They were like, yeah, you're going to school here? You're 33 years old, fucking rocking colors, Mr. VP, and you're going to this private school? I'm like, yeah. You don't have any books? Nope. Let's go to class then. Let's go. Teacher's like, what'd you do? Wrote in Mexican? I don't know. I'll get started.
Right.
They'll still be able to hear your mic when this music's playing, all right?
All right, cool.
Cobra 6, this is Stephen Hobbs, over.
This is Cobra 6, send it over.
Roger, Cobra 6. We are Redcom 1 at this time. Permission to roll out, over.
Roger that, permission granted.
That's a good copy, Cobra 6. Stephen Hobbs, out.
Yeah. It's your boy Stephen Hobbs, man. And this is
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
I promise I will never back down. That's a promise to my fans, man, I can't stop now. I'm way too close to think of giving up. Sipping out of this cup, praying to God for luck. Then I stop and realize that I don't need luck, I just need God's blessing. So I keep looking up, looking into the clouds for my angel to come down. The whole time not thinking, if I just look around, I'm surrounded by the blessings that God sent to me. I know it's meant to be hard physically and mentally, and I've accepted simply everything given to me with no appreciation. My gifts being wasted, and I'm so tired and fed up of never being enough. So I just pour some more sin in my cup. Look up and I can see the light trickling down. This is my one chance, dog, I can't blow it now.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
Nah, they wanna put me in slow-mo. I can't back down, hell nah, that's a no-go. I treat them like bad kids, think them that's a no-no. I stop for every fan that wants to take a photo. I'm always on time and I'll never be a no-show. A pebble in the pond, oh yeah, watch me grow, yeah. I'm too blessed to stop, like the gasoline price, I go straight to the top. The voice for our troops, I'm the voice for the veterans. I can't stop now, cause I'm kinda like their medicine. I remember when they said I wouldn't success, no stress, yes, rise high, now I'm so blessed. Like King Kong, I stood tall, beating on my chest, spitting every single song like it's the last left. Yeah, I'ma wear this crown, the king of military rappers can't back down.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
Listen up, dog, it's never too late to make a change in your life. My advice is don't wait, because you never know what tomorrow's gonna bring. A whole lot of happiness or a whole lot of pain. I done had my ups and downs. When it comes a light, but it turned me around. You gotta learn from your mistakes and never make them again, and start living your life right now. Cause I ain't trying to look back and regret no more. I got this weight on my back, but I can't carry it though. I need some help with it, dog. Can you lend me a hand? I'm just trying to live my life the best way that I can, but it seems like everybody wants to stop my progression. Maybe I'll take this Smith & Wesson and teach them a lesson. You can think that I'm bullshit until I leave your family crying and you're missing.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
All right. Hey, what's up? You still there?
Yeah, sir.
All right. Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Gonzo, and I got El Otro Gonzo, or the other Gonzo, over here with me. And hey, what was my first message to you when you hit me up?
There can be only one.
There's gonna be only one. I take that shit seriously. This ain't game. But no, seriously. Go ahead. Tell them a little about yourself, Gonzo. Number two.
Hey, I'm Johnny Gonzo. Out of Woodland, retired Marine Corps, did 12 and a half years in the Marine Corps, medically retired in 2014, and recently started teaching as an adjunct professor. I started.
And don't give me that every month's a rifleman crap.
No, I started off as artillery, and lap moved to welding to save my marriage. 6 months into my lap move, we separated, and got bored. Ended up in MARSOC, got trained as a heavy equipment operator and mechanic, and as an enabler. And you know what,
right? And it doesn't work. Like, I had a buddy that he served with me in the one of my first deployment, and then or first or second, can't remember. But he got kind of nutty from it. It was the second one. And when he got out, he met a chick, and he wanted, they were kind of struggling. He was like, I want to go back in. She said, all right, that's fine. I'll support it as long as you don't go back to what you did. As long as you weren't doing that.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, fine, done. So he went and did some mind-numbing, like, get stuff off a helicopter, put it on a helicopter type stuff. And he ended up being in a FOB in Afghanistan. They got overrun and had to, like, stay and fight it out with them and shit. And I'm like, you left the armor field to get out of that stuff and then get put in worse than we were ever in. And then he got put in a situation where his unit was told to evac, and he was like, what? Like, no, I'm not running. So he grabbed his rifle with like 2 other guys. They stayed to defend it with the infantry guys. And then they got written up for Article 15s and court-martials and stuff for disobeying lawful orders and blah, 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 blah. And then also put in for Silver Stars for heroism. And then they just kind of washed each other out and nobody talked about it again.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to talk about, though. I want to talk about education because it's kind of important on how we learns. And I don't think we learns enough. What are you teaching now?
So started taking courses at American River College, and that led into the opportunity to teach dual enrolled students, meaning they're high school students that are also enrolled in college courses, as an adjunct professor / high school shop teacher, basically.
Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that program. Do you know if that's like, is that nationwide or is that just a California thing?
As far as I know, it's just in the Sacramento area, and it's because we have, for us specifically, we have a department chair department chairman that really wants to get, as much education out as he can to whoever's interested in getting it.
And that's good. And the thing is like, I know I met a girl in school that she was, like I said, 18, 19. That was, she was just so young, and she had just gotten out of high school, but she was already like a junior by credits. But you could tell that she wasn't a junior by age, by demeanor, by study habits. And it's like, I think that 2 years might really affect her, if not right away, but you could see the signs of it. But I'm pretty sure down the road it's going to affect her a little bit. And I just don't know if you can make up for that socialization. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. What do you see? How long have you been doing it with that? Like, you just started, right?
Just started about 2-3 months ago.
Okay, so what have you noticed so far?
The maturity thing comes into play a lot. We're expected to teach them as college students, and give them the information as like we would for college students, but at the same time, these kids are in school 7:30 in the morning, you know, and I'm their last class. So that, and a lot of them haven't had a chance to do lecture the way we do as college students yet. So taking notes, they're waiting for us to tell them what to write down, and trying to get them to learn how to paraphrase things and shorthand things, and then go back and review it again.
Yeah, see, now how much does your military writing style influence that? Because I know my college professors were always like, they wouldn't gig me for not meeting the number requirement on the word count or whatever, because I was so direct and concise, and they were like, we can't even be mad at you because it reads well, it's to the point, it just doesn't meet the word. Like, you did it very quickly, and I couldn't bend to their ways. You know what I mean? That was one thing I could never get down. I couldn't stretch stuff out. I always felt like I was BSing more than I was, you know, more than I already was.
Just add. I told my professor, like, look, I'm just adding fluff now. Like,
yeah,
you get my point in the first few paragraphs, I'm good. Like, the rest of it's just to fill what you want.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, I try to stress to my daughter to learn how she learns, you know, because it's very important. I seen a lot of guys coming in the military, especially when I was getting ready to get out, the younger guys that were just, they struggled to understand instructions, and they couldn't express that they were struggling. So it's like, if they would have known that if you show me I could learn better, or if you just tell me I could learn better, or if I read it, I'll do better than you talking to me, then I could have just handed them a TM and been like, go get to it. But they didn't know how to do, you know, relay to me how they learned. So we went through it painstakingly, and, you know, they got in really good shape. But it could have been so much easier, you know, and I feel like
it'd be so much easier too. Pain retains. If I could just, you know what, go sit on that wall until you understand what I'm talking to you about. You know?
Go hold it up.
This class will go a lot faster.
Yeah.
But you know, and for me, I got promoted to sergeant in 2006, E5 in the Marine Corps, and I loved it and wanted I wanted nothing to do with a rocker, you know. So I fought it off. I didn't submit my packages for promotion, you know, the way the Marine Corps does it, because I loved what I did. So. But for me, doing what I did, as long as I did it, I started learning how to just observe how a Marine was learning and how a Marine was interacting with things. If I told him, and if he kept coming back, okay, this isn't the way to do this. So, hey, write this down. If that still wasn't working, then I'm like, look, man, let me show you. And of course,
you guys have like stock and crayons or what?
Yeah. Definitely, because I mean, we're using them to write and for snacks.
I mean,
that stuff goes quick, man.
You guys get the colored poops and stuff.
Yeah, but we're multitasking with this stuff. It takes up less room when it's your food and your source of writing material. So,
hey, did you make your students draw a section or sector sketches yet of their desks?
No. I've tried to. There's certain things that I tried really hard to avoid. Like, this is your section, this is your assigned seat. Like, all right, that's something that I've used.
He said, "For front rear count off."
You guys get to sit where you want. That's your reward for not acting like knuckleheads. But you act like knuckleheads, I'm gonna start assigning you seats. Oh no.
What difference do you see between the students that you got at the high school and what you got in the college?
Maturity.
Well, like as in what?
But you know, and it's a maturity that can go for you or it can go against you. You go in there and you're trying to be serious all the time. And you try to talk to them the wrong way, and they're gonna have a roast session on you. They're gonna clown on you. They're gonna make fun of you, and there's not gonna be any kind of respect at all.
Some of this crap you won't even know.
That's the worst part about it. Yeah, that's the worst part about it is when you're like, oh yeah, that sounds real nice. Like, hey man, he's making fun of you. Like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then the kids at the college are paying to be there. This is their life. This is their future livelihood. They need to do well here, and the stress is on for them because
there's more seriousness. They already got that intensity. Because I know my freshman sophomore year I did online, so I didn't see anybody. You know what I mean? And then by the time I got to my junior year, I was at UOP, and there's definitely a level of professionalism and just each to their own, because they're just so busy in their own 19,000. Those kids made me feel like I wasn't doing nothing. Like, they made me feel like I was just sitting still, because they're like, I got to go here, I got to do this, I got to go to work, I got to be over here, I got to go there, I got to go to second job. I'm like, I'm going to go home and smoke. That sucks.
Like, well, I got to go take a nap
always
after
doing
this.
so much, you know, and it's like, it's crazy because I see these high school kids around here still walking around getting dropped off, BSing. and I'd seen the kids there, and I'm like, what? There's like a summer between. Like, what's going on there? You know?
Yeah.
Which is why I know I wouldn't have made it straight into college out of high school. I couldn't have done it at all.
No,
Without the
definitely
military,
not.
you know?
No.
And everybody always told me, you know, why didn't you do something that would translate out? You know, why didn't you get a job like in office or in computer work or something? And if I wanted that, I would have went to school. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have risked my life, and I would have been getting paid way more. But I wanted to do something I couldn't do here, you know, and I wanted to do something that I would have fun with. And so I got on some tanks and went and blew some stuff up.
Yep.
And don't regret a bit of it.
No, and that's always been the biggest thing for me is I could have stayed here and you know I'd been working really hard since I was 15, 16 years old. I mean, I'd have never had the opportunities to do some of the things I did. Not many people can say they've gone spy rigging and fast roping and that kind of thing. And I've shot more ammo than I can ever think of. And I really appreciate it now that I haven't been able to shoot very much. You know what I mean?
Everybody wants to go to the range, and I'm like, why? That's like a day at the work. And they're like, what? I'm like, you don't understand what it's like to get a pallet of ammo dropped off and told you can't leave until it's gone.
Yeah.
You're like throwing
exactly.
rounds away. Like, just get. Like,
yeah. Oh, thank God, a cook-off. Just hold it straight.
Yeah,
just hold it over that way. Just let it go.
It was
See if you can link some more on there. Keep linking them together.
Yeah. Burning barrels up. Just.
Yep. But and with the maturity thing, I tend to try to use it for to my advantage. Their attention span is so small. I could work against it or I could work with it. And so, I get about 15 minutes, 16 minutes down my lecture, and I'll draw attention to something going on in the classroom, or I'll kind of venture off a little bit and talk about something else to kind of pique their interest again, and then go right back into the boring stuff. So anyway, viscosity in oil is, and the glazed over look starts to go again. And so the maturity level is there, but at the same time, what I loved about the Marine Corps was it was like high school times 2. I just started doing high school all over again, hanging out with my friends.
And they do everything
kind of
at
the
like a
same
second grade level.
Yeah. Man, I wasn't ready for the Marine jokes. I'm going to write some stuff down next time. But no, yeah, these kids just they just need guidance, man. And you can go in there with an iron fist and expect them to pay attention to you, respect you, or you can go in there and treat them with respect, man.
You really can't do it like in the military out here. You really can't, because they take it completely different. Their idea of respect out here is ridiculous. And yeah. I don't understand it at all. But if you go in there and you start being a hard ass, you start yelling stuff, they're going to shut it off. If at best case, worst case, they're going to try to act out. You know what I mean? And this younger generation, they're crazy. When I first got back, I wanted to run around and snatch a couple of them up, but it was like they're packing guns most likely, and they will shoot you. Like, these kids they don't care. And it's scary.
Yeah, I had a student the other day, like, Hey, they call me Mr. I told them they can call me what they want. They can call me Mr. Gonzalez. They can call me Juan, whatever they want, And he's like, "Hey, Mr. Juan." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "Hey, they searched me for a gun today." Like, all right, man. Like, I don't know if that's something you say with a smile on your face.
Yeah,
that's
all
some
proud.
serious stuff right there, bro. He goes, "So I don't know where they got that idea from." Like, I'm not trying to do nothing stupid. I'm actually working my way through trying to get to college right now, and I'm like, good on you, man. Just stay safe, man. Don't do nothing crazy.
And you know what thing was a hard thing for me to learn that might be good to pass on to the kids, that their appearance. You know what I mean? Like, we blend into our societies and in our surroundings. So if you're living in a rougher urban area, you're going to blend in with your surroundings and not look like a target. You might not necessarily be gang banging or running the streets or whatever, but you're not going to put a bow tie on most likely and wear winged shoes going walking down the street, because you're going to get picked on. So you're going to blend in, but when you're blending into your people around you, you're also taking on that stigma. So you're going to, attract the police attention. Whether you're doing anything or not, you're still going to get their attention, and that was hard for me to learn, because I got back from the invasion and we were staying in this real nice upscale hotel in Frisco. Everybody's in suits and ties. My ignorance, I'm in blue jeans, white tee, and a red hat, wondering why they're not respecting me the same way. And I'm like, my money's the same. I paid the same shit, and I'm getting ignorant, but not understanding why I'm not getting the same respect. And it wasn't until I was in the, the elevator and I see my reflection and I'm looking at these business dudes and I'm like, something's different. And then I just realized that I didn't change. I just realized, okay, don't expect this level of respect when you're looking like this, even though you're past both of them. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, they didn't know me. They didn't know what I did. And that was my problem. I'm like, You guys are looking at me like a street punk that I'm dressed like, but you don't know what I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's like showing up to school my first couple of days, getting stopped by security. What do you need help with something? Are you lost? The office is on your side. Like, no, man, I teach here. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm telling you, I used to park right in front of my university. There's our building for the associate department was where the motorcycle parking was, and I used to pull up there every day. And a couple times, security would pull up on it. And our security was Stockton Police. They have like 20 units assigned to UOP campus. So if you're in Stockton area, don't be doing stuff around UOP campus. You're going to get caught. But they wrote up on me. Hey, where are you going? Class? And they, I didn't have any books or anything. So they're like, "Where's your books?" I'm 30-something years old, and they're like, "Come on, guy, you're going to class?" I'm like, hey, "Yeah." All right, let's go. And I had my colors on from a 1% club, so they're like, "Yeah, all right, let's go, guy." As they're trying to like search me, almost like trying to search me without searching me and stuff. Like, "Come on, let's go. We're just gonna go over here. Walk this way, sir."
Some nice jeans, man.
Yeah, where'd you get these?
Real quick.
Yeah. And we go walking into class. My teacher's like, "What'd you do?" Wrote in Mexican. I don't know. That's him. They're like, "You know him?" She's like, "He's a student here." And they're like, "Really?" No, I just wrote on into the middle of campus for no reason. Like,
yeah,
they get it out of control sometimes. But even with those students, like even in these big universities, they wanted to sit there and just everything the teacher said, just scribble. They were so worried about getting every word down that they didn't hear anything they were saying.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is these kids, as soon as they see these kids see a slide, it's like ingrained in them. Mm-hmm. I must write everything down all at once.
Yeah, and it's like, not let me grasp it.
And so I just put the projector on the whiteboard and I'll circle the important stuff. Like, you see how this is the important stuff that you really need in a college course. This is all you're going to get. You're going to get this lecture real quick. Your professor's going to go through these slides real quick, and you're on your own.
How come you can't start teaching the high school level like you do in the college level?
But we are teaching the high school level the way the college level goes. But for me, I'm more worried that these kids are getting the information rather than, let me just get these checks in the box real quick. Yep, I'm good here. I'm good here. I'm good here.
With their attention spans and with the time allotted, that's kind of what you got to do, though. You know what I mean? Just get the bullet points out there, and that's what my teachers usually appreciated about me and my writing was because it was, like I said, it was short to the point. They had to read a bunch of papers, and I used to go with if I made my paper a little more memorable, I usually would do better, and it worked. Because I was like, they're gonna read 26,000 papers on the same thing. I'm at least gonna make mine funny. I'm gonna crack a joke or two in there. There was times where I'd write a paper that had nothing to do with what we were doing, and I would put in there, my bad, I didn't read the chapter, but I did this, and I just would write some shit. I'd still get full credit because they were like, it gave them something different.
I thought I was gonna have my ass handed to me in philosophy. Like, all right, I'm a veteran. I'm the only tattooed dude here. Even my philosophy professor was like, why do you ride a black motorcycle and you wear a black jacket? Like, aren't you afraid of not being seen? Like, check out my helmet. And he goes, is this rubber? Like, yeah, it's a novelty helmet, man. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just trying to get from point A to point B. And he tripped out on me, and I thought I annoyed him. I was like, hey, I know that you and I kind of get off into some conversations sometimes. He goes, I don't think you understand how valuable life experience is in these types of classes. You're offering substance to the class that wouldn't be here if you hadn't showed up. I'm like, oh, all right. So keep being a jackass is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it came down to. So it's helped out. It's helping out with my public speaking.
How have you seen, what's been your experience with like the teacher-parent relationship out there? Because I know when I would go with, to see my daughter's teachers or whatever, or going for open house and stuff, there was a big change. I remember when I was younger and I was going to school, you were like so worried about what the teacher was going to say because your parents were going to beat you as soon as you got home. You already knew it. At least I did because I was a little bit back. But it seemed like nowadays everybody was more mad at the teacher. It was the teacher's fault, and the kids in the back on the cell phone playing video games while the teachers are getting yelled at by the parents about why their kid isn't learning. Yeah,
and I was the same way, to be honest. When I first took on my kids full time as a single parent, I kind of ran into the same issue with my oldest son, who was 12 at the time, and one of his teachers. And I was like, oh well, he's going through a lot right now, and his mom's and she cut me dead off in the middle of the conversation. You need to stop making excuses for him and let him take responsibility. And I'm like, oh, That's a good point. You know what I mean? So
Because they do.
I give
It's ridiculous. It's never the kid's fault, and it makes me sick. It's ridiculous. It's like that one. There's a lady recently that her son just tried to rob a coffee shop or something. Did you see that?
Nuh-uh.
He had a knife and a gun. He pulls the knife out, and the chick didn't take him seriously, and so he pulled the gun out. So now he's sitting there like this, you know. And this old dude just comes up with a chair and just starts beating him. And he just continues to beat him, you know. And now they're trying to sue him for excessive force or whatever because once the dude was down, he continued to beat him. But mind you, this dude's like 60-something years old, and the dude's in his 20s, smacked out, you know. And they're going to try to sue him?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You know.
I don't understand it either. And I think that's what it is. Like a lot of these kids will try to say, well, I didn't know. Well, I told you last week. I told you again on Wednesday. I told you again on Friday, and I told you again on Monday.
You know what law enforcement tells you? You know what law enforcement tells you when you say that? I don't know. Ignorance isn't an option. Ignorance isn't a plea. You know what I mean? You can't.
It is.
Just because you didn't know doesn't make it right. Like.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is they get away with, oh, you didn't know? Okay, well, we'll just know. If you didn't, it's your job to know. You're a student. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
And not enough people do that. Not enough people hold them accountable for their actions. It's always excused to somebody else's or, you know, it's too many people are afraid to start problems with these kids or get them upset to fix things. You know what I mean?
The very first opportunity I had to talk to the people that I would end up later on working with, they asked me, you know, what do you think is the issue with the youth today? And I said that they're not accountable for anything. They're not expected to learn the same way, you know, or they're not expected to find a way. And that's something that I think our veteran community can give back to the civilian world, teaching kids to be held accountable. You forgot your homework? That's cool. I told you when it was due, you know, so you're going to start taking a hit on it.
And that's true because I coached my daughter's soccer team for a season, and we didn't win a game. We lost every game. We had no clue what we were doing. I was going off my, 2 years of soccer experience when I was, 7 and 8. So that went well. They did a lot of running. FIFA, they did a lot of team running because I would, one would mess up. They all messed up, so they'd all be running, and they hated me. And then I would go chase them down because they weren't running fast enough and run with them, and then they'd have to run until I was tired. And so it was interesting, but, and I was really assuming that the parents hated me. I was waiting to get all these hate calls and stuff. I was just ready for it, but it never came. And after the season was over, they still came to me for stuff. I still get calls from them occasionally for help with the kids and stuff, which it made me feel good. It made me feel like at least I did something because I, made an impression on their life somehow because they were still hitting me up afterwards. And a lot of them said that the kids told me themselves that they didn't get, discipline like that. They're like, we know we can't mess up here. They're like, at home we can do what we want. They're not gonna do anything. They're like, we mess up here, it sucks. Like, gets uncomfortable. And that's just the way it's always been. Like, and it's not enough. People are too afraid of these kids these days. Man, these kids got too much power.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the wrong one the wrong way, and it's scary, man. It's
like
scary
raising
to
pit bulls,
think.
man. You got to know that they're gonna get bigger. So you got to raise them with respect. You know what I mean? And they're not doing that. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing that. Everybody's always trips out on the fact I got 3 pit bulls, and they're real vicious animals.
Oh yeah.
So, but they listen really well, and it's because I've made them respect from a young age, and they, because I knew they were going to get bigger and they were going to get uncontrollable, and there'd be no way to have all 3 of them and be able to tame them. If they got riled up. And right as it is right now, if one goes off, I can yell, and they'll all be in this room in a second. Because they already know. But then again, I bit my dogs. I've I fight with them. Like, I get in there.
There you are. All right, lost you for a minute.
All right, let's see. There's a question from our boy Ernie. It says, "Do you think veterans can teach children with disabilities like ADHD and autism?"
Absolutely, as long as you take into account that there is something there. Like when PTSD first started becoming kind of bigger, nobody believed it was a thing. You just didn't feel like deploying anymore. You just, if you don't want to do this anymore, just leave. Like, no, I still want to do it. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this is changing. As long as you keep that in mind, but we're gonna think outside the box. We're gonna do what we have to do. If we look at it, I mean, a lot of veterans still have that mentality. No matter what kind of soldier, no matter what kind of Marine you were, mission accomplishment.
No, and
what do I need to do to accomplish this mission? You know what I mean? And that's why I just tell me what information needs to go in this kid's head, and I'll get it in that kid's head. You know?
I would say I think it'd be useful on a case by case paired basis, but I don't think it'd be a good resource. Is like I don't think I could work with them very well because I have zero patience, and that's something that would take some patience. But I think paired with the right kid with the right adult, I think they would find a way to translate to them. Like you said, they'll find a way to make them learn it. Not, just this is what it is, figure it out, like they do in school. Because that's not going to work. That's not going to fly. But there's also a lot of specialized training that comes with teaching, students with autism, stuff like that, to where I don't know if they would, lack the social skills or just the brain cells to do it all. But I think it would be beneficial as far as like even just like a tutor for them, just to work with them on whatever they're getting, just to help them translate to them however they're learning. Because that's the thing with autism. It's not that they're any less intelligent. It's just one part of their brain is overactive and it is stronger, causing the other part to be overshadowed. So it's like they're going to be really good at something. You just got to figure out what that is. And once you figure out what that is, that's where you get your Beethoven stuff, your geniuses into something, because their mind's just so advanced in that area.
And it's important to remember that kind of thing with and that's why I love doing the career technical education type teaching. Is I get to hit all different kinds. I get to do lecture, I get to give them something to read so they can learn at their own pace, and then at the same time we're doing hands-on. So I'm able to hit everything and kind of see how these guys are learning and who has their strong suits, who has are weaker in this area, and I'll harp on their weakness a little bit more than their strength, because they need to know that they're still capable. I don't think they have enough. They don't take responsibility, but at the same time, I don't think they get encouraged enough when they're doing the right thing or when they're actually working hard. Sorry.
You run AARs in your class?
No, what's that?
After action reviews? I don't know what you guys call them in the Marine Corps.
No, we don't. Galas? No, we're not. No, unfortunately, we don't. I got reviewed today, but I won't get the results of them for a while.
No, you should run little AARs in your class. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the week or something, give me two improves, 2 sustains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What can we do better as a class? What can we not? You know what I mean? Like what can we work on or whatever.
Well, it blew my mind that I do question of the day every day, and at first it was to kind of break the ice. I got to the point where I went in there first day and we had that command presence, and I had a kid raise his hand and ask me if it was right if he took notes. Like, okay, I went a little bit too far, need to draw back a little bit, and so I do question of the day, kind of break up the monotony, get them thinking a little bit. And one day I asked them what their strengths were, or what their weaknesses were. All of them had a really good, real deep answer for what they thought their weakness was. When I asked them what their strengths were, I only had 3 out of 20 students answer. And I pointed it out to them. I was like, you guys realize that you guys have more to say about your weaknesses than your strengths? Like, that's something that we need to work on, something we need to change.
Yeah.
So they've eaten up some of the deeper questions a lot more in depth than I thought they would. So it's kind of fun.
It's a trip. Like, I know I wouldn't be cool in this generation. Like, I would not be cool in this generation at all. I've come to that realization. And I'm okay with that. But it is. There's a very negative outlook on a lot of stuff. It's let's focus on what's being lost and taken, and what can we complain about. Like, there's all this protest and everything. One thing that's always amazed me is people protesting like the military or the war. Last I checked, we're still a volunteer army. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back when the draft was going, I could see how people were getting upset because people were being forced to go, but everybody over there wants to be there. And even if they went on a go to war, go to jail contract, they still wanted to be there over jail. So they still chose it.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you're protesting my right to choose? You're protesting my right to, and it's just because we created like this victim society, this victim mentality culture that it's okay. You have to embrace everybody, and you have to embrace people that are upset. So it's like these people that went for getting attention, that wanted to get attention, the ones that were acting out and going all nutty on people, that became socially unacceptable because you had to accept everybody. So then it's like those same type of people became oversensitive. It's weird the way society will shift like that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, where did we go wrong? What stage did we hit the
It's the
wrong
music.
sensitivity level? Yeah, it's that damn mumble rap, man. I tell you.
I blame.
But I've embraced the fact that I make dad jokes. I don't even try to hide it no more.
Yeah.
I just run with it now.
So what type of stuff do you see going on in school these days with these kids? Because I'm interested to know. Because my daughter's about to go to school, high school in LA, and I have no idea what's going on in high schools these days. Because it's it's a whole crazy different generation these days.
It was hard for us to understand bad meant good, back in our day, and that was about as hard as you had to get. And some of this stuff these kids talk about just blows my mind. Like, how did you associate that word with that?
Oh yeah,
action?
because they got all these little short acronyms. Everything's an acronym now, and I'm like, how do you know which way they're using it? Oh, because this one's before it, but that's just letters too. This is all code right now. Like, you guys are tech. I don't get it.
But you can't understand a double negative, really?
Hey, when I was in the brig, I was in there with this dude. He was like, "Man, why can't I remember lyrics to songs from like 1982 and stuff, like full bars and stuff?" He goes, "I can't remember how to do 9 times 9." I was like,
"Oh yeah."
Like, and he was really pondering that for a while. Like, why am I that stupid or something? Like, he's like,
yeah.
It messed up.
Just they're just to me they're just lacking guidance. To me, the biggest trend with a lot of these kids and a lot of the things going on in all the schools. I mean, my kids go to school in a different area than I teach at. It just seems like they're lacking guidance. We had and then at the same time that we were just talking about, the students don't have to take responsibility for anything. We had to call the cops on a 5th grader for file sexual harassment charges because he was sexually harassing my daughter, who's 11, in elementary school. And the principal was so stoked that it happened because now the kid can go get the help he needs. Like, no, you guys need to go talk to the parents. Like, what are we doing with the parents? Are we teaching the parents how to parent? Are we teaching the parents how to deal with this?
You can't tell them nothing either.
Yeah, but that was, oh man, the parent of the young man, we'll say, was in there ridiculing my daughter, and I was like, do you know what rape culture is? Like, how it's the girl's fault all the time?
Oh yeah,
it's basically what you just did.
There was a judge in the UK recently, not too long ago, a couple of years ago, that ruled that this girl did not get raped because her pants were too tight, that she couldn't have taken them off herself. Therefore, that the guy couldn't have took it off without her help. Therefore, she consented, and it wasn't rape.
Man,
so I guess we don't have rape anymore. We just got surprise sex. Surprise!
Yeah.
Only one of you know.
Maybe that's what the case was on. He yelled surprise first, and then they were like, "Oh, okay,
that's the loophole."
Yep, got the loophole. There's always a loophole.
Just like area codes, it's a loophole.
But these kids don't. They don't like. We used to say cuss words, but we say it quietly. Where teachers weren't around or something. No, they'll drop an F-bomb in the middle of class like it's
hey,
nothing.
I got an angry face for that last comment. That's funny. I'm liking it.
Which one?
Because I said area codes don't count.
Yeah.
Good times. I was gonna say I had to take that somewhere. I was taking that somewhere, but I can't remember where I was going with it. Hey, no, man. I know when I came back, my old middle school right here down the street, they changed it over to the elementary school, one of the main elementary schools, and so they put in a little jungle gym or whatever, little outside for the kids. And I remember driving by it, and I was like, man. My sister goes, what? I go, they got that bad out here? She goes, what? I go, teen population that bad? Y'all put daycare in at the middle school? Like, and I really thought that's what happened. Because there's all these kids walking around with kids. It's like, but luckily it was just elementary school. But I seriously thought that, man, is teen pregnancy still crazy, like in your area?
I went to continuation school, and that's where we had the daycare at. That's where I graduated from. We had a daycare at continuation school, and they were smooth about it though, because they made that one of the courses that you could take, early childhood development, and you could work out at the daycare, get to hang out with the other little kids and stuff. And that was like a real taboo thing back then. I graduated in 2000, and that was a crazy thing back then. And now it's at high schools. It's at normal high schools now. And they'll do daycares there as well. But I haven't seen anything around campus, but
no, I'm just saying, because I know my freshman class when I started in high school was like a little over 2,000 students. We graduated with I would think around 400, a little over 500, something like that.
Yeah,
that's a high nutrition rate.
Yeah, definitely. So far, I've only lost one to he moved from my class. And then I just found out today that he's dropped out, and he was having some issues before, and that scared me. I seen him, hanging out around campus, like, hey, come on, man, let's go to class. What are you doing? You can't be out here. I just got to campus, and it turns out that he had been missing for a couple of days, and I was the only person to see him in 3 days. And I was like, hey, man, he was on campus. I marked him as present, and after school, he went his own way. But he'd been missing for a couple of days by then.
You seen him after he came back, or?
No, I seen him after he'd been gone a couple of days. So they
so
were wondering, hey,
suspect.
where did you see him at? Yeah, right. Where'd you see him at? And how long ago was it? And what was he doing? I was like, he was here on campus. Like,
no, I
thought he was just
one, man.
class.
I marked the wrong one. In fact,
You know what I mean?
Remember, he went TBI, man. I got TBI. You can't judge me.
Yeah. Oh no, it was somebody else. I was thinking somebody else. Yeah. No, it definitely wasn't him. 2 days later, I seen him just strolling down the street. Again, when I was riding to campus, I pull over. I was like, hey, man, what are you doing? Your parents are looking for you. People are looking for you. You're not in trouble. I'm not going to drag you with me unless you're going to jump on the bike with me,
Yeah.
Just get a hold of your parents, man. Let them know, you're trying to get a hold of them.
So he was going to school? He just wasn't going home?
No, he just showed up for that one class just that one area that day, but he wasn't going to class.
And that's the thing too, is that a class like that, like workshop or something, where it's a little it's different. It's a break in the traditional day for them. It gives them a different space. You know what I mean? And it could provide somebody like that a spot where they do feel safe to come back to. You know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of these schools need more of it. Because I know at my college they didn't have any type of automotive. They didn't have any type of trade skills. It was a dental school by classification or whatever. So it was geared more towards that anyways. So I guess maybe they thought like teeth cleaning 101 was like a auto shop. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out well, and it sucked. But and a lot of times over there, what they would do is if you proposed a class like, hey, how come you guys don't have this? They go, well, you want to do it? And they would let you. They would give you the opportunity. And there were some student teachers there, but it was far, most people wouldn't take on the task there because they want a lot from you. But I think we need to see more of it because there's not enough people. There's not enough people that are going into the trade labor. They're saying we're getting ready to take a big hit to the trade labor. And I know I grew up doing electrical work with my father and learning a bunch of different trades. And it's paid off for me just knowing how to do it, saving money on doing stuff around my own place, let alone stuff for my family or side jobs for friends and stuff, And it's useful to know just to know, just like we used to have home ec classes and stuff, where you did knitting and sewing and cooking and, regular daily tasks where anybody could take care of themselves, which that's one thing I've seen real debilitating out here is so many guys and girls that just don't know how to sustain themselves. They don't know how to live on their own. You know what I mean? And it's embarrassing. And it's getting to the point to where they don't even leave home. And it's like, it cracks me up to see somebody out in the streets pounding their chest, talking about how they're a man, and then they got to be home by curfew because their mom's going to lock them out. Like, yeah,
these guys, they see that the guys that are a lot smarter than me and do a lot better networking than I do, they're starting to see that we're getting ready to take a huge hit. Who is going to take care of Social Security when we can't work no more? At the same time, the people that need these technicians are seeing where are we going to get these guys from, and that's why career technical education right now is pretty big. And I don't think I really can't stress this enough. I don't think enough veterans get involved with this type of thing.
I don't think enough veterans get involved in general. We come back and we just isolate up, and then you want to be away from everything because you've been into so much stuff so much, and by the time you're ready to come back around, it's a big scary world out there again. You know what I mean? Because it's different.
Yeah.
And
it's different.
And I'll tell you right now, you can't fix stupid. And in the military, you're ingrained in you that you need to fix stupid, or they're going to come and they're going to fix you.
Yeah.
And when you walk out, you're about to have a conniption because it's just ignorance around you, and you just want to just and you can't. I tried.
Yeah. It's something that I think we can offer a lot to, but it's something that we're really, the experience that we have in these type of trades. I mean, we knew those guys in the military that can fix anything with it's not even having the right tools, no TM, no nothing. Just, oh, this is how it works.
Yep.
You know, and you're absolutely right. You don't have to go work on commercial vehicles to
benefit from it.
you. You know how these different systems work. You know how they operate together. You know, you can go and do this somewhere else, but if you're doing this for 2 years, you're halfway done with your certificate program. You do another, semester in college. You got a job waiting for you. These guys are waiting to hire you right now.
And they make good money. They get good hours. And
Yeah.
that's what I understand. That's what I always grew up wanting to do, was because I seen my dad do it, and I was like, it's easy. You work hard, you get paid good, and you can live well. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but so many people want these jobs. And one thing I fear that I feel like I see happening is a lot of these kids are growing up chasing ambitions of this quick, easy money through this tech stuff in a saturated market that was on a bubble that already busted. So the .com industries and all that tech stuff that everybody's so excited to learn is irrelevant. Like, you have to really stand out in that field now, or really have an innovative, different type of idea to really go anywhere with it or make any money with it these days, to where a lot of people are going to get these degrees that mean nothing. It's really, a certificate, all it is just saying that you paid for 4 years worth of sitting through stuff. It's what you do with it and how you learn, or what you get out of it, that you're going to do something with. And it's like the trades is always going to be there. They build houses, but they go down all the time, and they got to get redone, and stuff always needs work on. So it's like stuff needs to be maintained. That will always be there. It'll be consistent work. It might not be great work. It might not be glorious work. It might not be, it can be rewarding, I'll tell you that much, but it's, not glamorous or whatever. But it's consistent. And I just see too many people that are going towards these degrees that are just in fields that they're not hired. Overstrength, if you will,
Yeah. And then the trades aren't, overstrength, and they're not saturated. But at the same, the people that are there now aren't into the computer machines and the interwebs, and they don't really know how that stuff works.
Yeah,
together.
they don't know how to transfer it over. So that would be a good time to get in there, because
all these commercial vehicles are heading that way.
Yep.
And there's no stopping
to
it.
use them are. A lot of diagnostics are going into little laptops and cell phone type stuff, and it's getting bad.
To be able to just punch in some numbers in a computer and figure out what's going on with your system, now you got to do is go keep getting through there.
I got my 95 Yukon out there I've been working on, and I replaced the manifold. And I've been fighting through gas lines and everything else, tightening everything up, because I keep tightening this down and then forgetting to tighten the thing below it down. So now I got a leak down here, and then I tighten this one, and then the leak's up here.
Yeah.
So that's been fun, but there's no computer system to worry about. There's no, it's simple. It's like my tank, and then my Jeep, I got a 2014 Jeep. The tire light comes on that thing. I got to take it into the shop because it's all computer.
Yep.
It seems like there's nothing mechanical on the thing.
Can't even change your oil without going to get the computer reset so it doesn't ping you every time you start it.
Gonzo, you might not be able to change your oil, all right? This guy's okay.
Well, do you know how to reset your computer after you do it so it doesn't tell you to change your oil?
Yup. You go up, right, left, right, B.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, it is something like that. It's like you got to turn the key on, pump the brake or something like that, and then turn the key off and turn it on off, and then hit the blinker or some shit. Yep. It was like something weird like that.
It's a secret code.
It is. It's in the book or whatever, but you got to look under like window wipers.
Yeah, and it's never easy, but it's not like before. My '68 Caprice, the first car I had growing up, that thing didn't even have a computer, and it still was on points. It
went up the thing going tick 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 tick.
Yep. And so now you got to do all that stuff. That's why my son needed his first car, and we got him a used Mustang, a '99. We get to wrench on it together. I get to teach him about it, and he gets to learn how to maintain a vehicle.
Exactly. See, I'm hands-on. I learned by doing, so I found that going to pick and pull for me to get my parts is better, because I can go break shit out there, and then when I get to my stuff, I'll be like, okay, don't touch this line. It's going to break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or this actually unthreads this way. I was wrong. Make sure I don't mess it up on mine. And that saved me a lot of money.
Yep. Yeah, but he's taking a course with me on a Saturday. I was losing him, and he took off. He stole my Jeep in the middle of the night. Took off with his friend. He was getting he was running around with his friends, come home smelling like weed and everything else. Like, dude, these cops got no mercy with you, man.
Marijuana?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Doing the marijuana?
I hope not. You know what happens when you just do one of those marijuanas?
You can't just do one. You gotta smoke 2 joints before you smoke 2 more. Apparently.
And his argument was, at least I'm not drinking. Like, okay, fair enough, but you know, they can still nail you if they want.
Make him explain to you why it's better though, because he's on the right path, but he needs to explain to you why. You know, and that's one thing I'm starting to hear more people say that they want CBDs because you know they're starting to understand that that's where the medicine's coming from. But they still aren't quite saying why yet. You know, they're not quite getting it all out there yet. But it's good. It's getting there. The information's getting out there. You know,
getting the conversation started.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean. That's always the thing. You tell me why. No. Why should I let you do this? Why should I let you do that? You know.
And
but
the thing is
I told the wife.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I told the wife, you know, maybe we just need bro time. Maybe we should just go hang out together. So we started taking a Saturday class together, and that's kind of helped propel him into man. Maybe I need to graduate.
Botany with Gonzo, bro. You could have came over here, man.
You know what I mean?
Botany with Gonzo. But
it'll be about that.
But you know, and that's one thing I teach my daughters. You know, is that we have cannabis receptors in us already. We have THC receptors within us, so our body can take it and produce it. Like we have certain levels in us of THC already. That's why when you go to take a piss test, you have to score above so high because for it to register. Otherwise, it won't register. That's why you can take a hit here and there and you won't pop hot because it's not high enough to register because your body's already producing it. And it's one of those things that it won't burn out. It won't. It's not like when you overload your stuff with like dopamine or something like that, and it burns your receptors out. You can't burn your THC receptors out or your CBD receptors out. And the way it works is that the CBDs, they enter your body and they cause homeostasis in your body. It causes your body to say, what am I short? What am I lacking? Or what am I overproducing? It's causing, you know, something to work wrong. And it stops it or it starts it. It just causes your body to regulate itself to function the way it's supposed to. And that's why you'll get pain relief. That's why you'll get symptom relief without signs. Like I never noticed CBD working until it stops. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, it just kind of, everything goes away and you're just feeling great and you're motivated and stuff, and then later on it just kind of comes back and you're like, oh, maybe it was working. And I think it's important that people understand that. Or like it causes apoptosis in cancer cells. It causes cancer cells to eat themselves, but it doesn't affect the cells that aren't cancerous. Whereas the leading treatment for it is chemotherapy, which they just blast your system and kill everything and hope that they did it with your body healthy enough to recover from it. And I mean, that just, you know, smoke some of that wacky tobacco, load up full of, you know, nitrous and toxins and hope that you're going to survive it. I mean, I take probably both just because that's the way I am. But
yeah, there's something about, let's see, I can vomit in my sleep and choke on it and die. Or I get real hungry and then go to sleep for a little bit and we'll wake up from it, you know, or like a synthetic.
I'm kind of going towards the first one.
Or like synthetic heroin and a lot of this other stuff.
Oh, you mean prescription pills like Percocet,
telling myself
hydrocodone that, you know,
so
they
you mean
give
that
them.
if I take too much, it's going to tell my body to just stop breathing? Like, that's the one thing I don't have to think about. Now I got to think about it? Like, oh, man.
Now I got to think about breathing, man. That's how bad it gets. And, you know, they told me I should have died in my sleep with all the stuff I was on. And I'm like, that's just what they knew of. If they didn't know how much I was actually doing, like, I probably should have. But.
And when I retired, I retired in 2014. I thought it was all, you know, oh, yeah, that's what you guys just, you know, you guys just want to do your weed. That's fine. You guys want to smoke. That's fine. Cool. Good on you. Go ahead. Do what you're going to do. Like, but you know, you don't need to make it seem like it's a big issue. And then I went to the VA for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And the doctor's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I see why you're medically retired. Oh, okay, yeah, you have all these issues going on with you. Okay, so what do you want? Like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, you want Percocet? You want me to just send you morphine? You want fentanyl?
Once you have it in your record, they'll give it to you.
I was like, I just want to get better. Like, how do I get better? He goes, yeah, you'll get better. Like, no, you're just throwing me dope now.
Yep.
Like, I'm cool with
and
all
let
that.
you suggest that they should cut it down and be like, hey, you think we could try something different or maybe it's like you spit in their face.
Yep.
But that's why I'm so open about my smoking though, is because it's kind of a fail safe for me because they won't give me narcotic medications because I do the wacky tobacco. They're always trying to use it to get me off it, you know. And I'm like, you know, the last time I was in there, my psychiatrist was trying to get me off it again, and I was like, well, I think I might be ready. I was like, I just want to go over a couple things. I go, all right, what's my detox plan for the wacky tobacco? You know, she goes, well, I mean, you're just gonna have to stop. I was like, isn't there a protocol? There's something you can give me help? She's like, well, I mean, you know, we could give you some clonidine or something, you know, some blood thinners or something, but that's about it. You know, there's really no protocol. I'm like, what about seizures and stuff? You're like, I don't want to die or anything. She's like, come on, don't be real. You're not gonna have seizures. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, so what we gotta do? She's like, well, we'll put you on this, and this. If I want to come off that, what's the detox protocol? Well, it depends. You know, you could be on this for this many days, or you might have to take this because it could cause that, and blah, blah, blah. Laundry list of shit.
Yeah.
See, I think I was taking my poison. You know what I mean? Like, there's no detox protocol for mine, but you want me to get on all this crap that has all this other detox protocols because the poison that it's flushing through my system.
Yeah, I got into it with a few of them. When I left the Marine Corps, I was on 23 pills, and while I was in, I didn't want to touch anything because I didn't want the dependency. You know, I wanted to go do my job and not have to worry about getting my medication.
Yeah,
so
when I finally went to rehab for like the third time and was serious about it, I refused to take anything. I was like, no, I'm not, because they want me on Suboxone or methadone, which is another pill that you take that blocks opiates for the rest of your life. So you're going to take that one for the rest of your life. I was like, why would I take a pill and not get high for the rest of my life when I could just keep taking one and getting high? If that's what I choose to do, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, so I'm just not going to do it. And I had stayed away from Tylenol because it was triggering. If I took just a chewable tablet or something, you know, I would want to go use. You know what I mean? So I had to stay away from all that stuff for a long time. You know, and I don't know. That's something that comes with education too, because I didn't know that they were giving me heroin in a pill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Why would
know
they do that?
where
I'm
it came
still
from
in.
and
Why would they give me anything that's going to harm my body? I'm still in. They still need me. You know what I mean?
And it's a doctor.
But when I was on 23 of these things, and the only people I was talking to were either the Naval Hospital or the VA. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm retired. I'm going to go use my TRICARE. And my doctor goes, you know, we need to get some blood work done. He calls me that day. He goes, your liver and your kidneys are showing signs of distress. I was like, well, what does that mean? You know, he goes, you're dying. Like your liver and kidneys are going to shut down, and there's nothing I can do about it at that point because you're probably not going to make it. Well, what do I do? He goes, you need to get off this stuff. So went to the VA and, you know, what do I need to do to get off this stuff? Well, why do you want to get off of it? Because I'm going to go start smoking. Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I was like, well, why not? Because you become addicted. I go, what do you think I am right now? Like, oh, well, no. Well, see, because you take the medication until you build the tolerance. No, I take the medication until I build my addiction. Then once I'm hooked, then we regulate.
Yeah,
I go, I think I'll try weed because if I quit, I'd already detoxed by accident twice by now, waiting on the VA to get me my medication, give me my fix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is your tolerance goes up. That just means your detox goes up. So your detox protocol for your high cannabis tolerance just goes up to more food. And your other tolerance, you know, over here is just going to extend your withdrawal period. You know, I think when I finally came off, I was withdrawing for about 2 weeks. And that was just the immediate physical withdrawal. Like, that was 2 weeks. Like, it was bad. I hurt worse than anything I ever needed them for. Like, anything that ever happened to me, I never hurt worse than when I was detoxing. When I was kicking, that was your mind playing tricks on you. Your body's just rejecting everything. It's ridiculous. Can't get comfortable. It's miserable.
Right now, you know, let's just say that maybe food's not the best route for me to go right now. You know, I'm kind of a big guy for being a short guy. You know, when I'm on cannabis, I'm not like this. I get down to my ideal weight, just doing the same thing I'm doing right now. But you know, medication and everything else just makes me swell up. You know, I look like a.
It does. It retains weight. It retains sodium. You know, water and stuff. And and then guys, they lose themselves. You know, they look in the mirror and they're like, "That's not me." You know. And they don't know what to do about it. They're trying all this stuff and it's not working. They're not getting the weight off. It's not coming. When I stopped taking the medications, everybody's like, "You smoke too much, you're gonna get fat." I started losing weight. You know what I mean? And I smoked copious amounts of cannabis, and my appetite didn't suppress too much. I mean, I eat a lot of snacks, a lot of junk food. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not just sitting on the couch lazy. If you're sitting on the couch lazy and you're probably just lazy. You know what I mean? Like, if you smoke weed, it's gonna intensify that. You know what I mean? I'm awesome, so when I smoke weed, it intensifies that. You know what I mean? Lazy people is gonna make them lazier, but so they're dumb and stupid before they smoke. That just intensifies it.
I just, you know, when I was smoking, I wanted to do something. I wanted to get up and go somewhere.
I try
the medication,
people,
you know, I do what I can, but everybody, you know, the VA is happier with me like this, and it's acceptable for me to go teach at a high school like this, and it's acceptable for me to, you know, be in my community doing what I can like this because, you know, oh, at least you're healthy, and no, I'm not. This is terrible for me. My liver's pissed at me. You know, I'm way overweight, and there's not much I could do about it. And if I smoke 3 times a day and I do an edible at night, watch me start dropping weight, watch my energy levels go up. You know, I have more energy to go and actually cook a meal, you know, instead of relying on my wife to do all the time. And she's got 3 kids she's chasing around and everything else. Like, it makes my life a lot easier, but it's unacceptable. So
see, and that's why I try to tell people, you know, it gives me that 3-second buffer to stop my kill, you know, switch, because my immediate response to everything is usually violent and aggressive, and it normally isn't warranted for that out here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still geared up for combat, and it's like smoking just allows me to chill and kind of, is this worth it? Does this person need to get hurt? Because I'm like still way ahead of it, so I still have time to react. But you know, not like when I'm on, you know, Xanax and everything else, and it's just like,
yep.
Should I be mad right now? Probably. You guys got a gun to my face, you know, but you can't get mad because you're all doped out. Like, cannabis doesn't do that.
There's a difference between, you know, yeah, I'm not reacting like I know I shouldn't react, and there's a difference between no, I can't react at all because I've taken a pencil and stabbed myself in the brain with these pills you want me to take.
And see, and the thing is that I think it's important to realize that I think there is a place for medications. I don't think I would have been able to see some of the things I needed to see and kind of calm down and focus on what I need to focus on at the time without medications. But I think they got a time and purpose, a limited space in your life that, you know, to get you get you on your way. But then you need to start weaning off and finding alternate ways to cope, to deal. Because if you're not, you're going to get stuck in that. You're going to keep chemical dependency, and you're going to keep, you know, using. And if you can find healthier ways, you start just not wanting to anymore. When I started smoking more, I started doing other things, and I started just losing the taste for alcohol. I don't even drink no more, you know, whereas a year ago, that would have been, somebody would have laughed at you if they told you I didn't drink, you know. And it's like it just kind of went away, you know what I mean? And it's part of it came with maturity because I still got people, hey, you don't drink? I laugh. Now I just tell them, hey, you know what? I'll drink a beer. You come have a blunt with me. And then they kind of shy away and they leave me alone, you know, because they don't smoke.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not.
Yeah, no, I don't drink, you know. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't drink, and a lot of it was because I don't like myself when I drink. You know, the last time I drank, I made a lot of stupid decisions. But I was active duty, so it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I tried that a couple times because I wasn't sure if the last time it was bad idea, so I went again and I did it again and I tried again and I tried another time. They were all bad ideas. Yeah. They were all pretty much bad ideas. Yeah. But and you know, you're right. I didn't like me when I drank either, and that was a big reason why I quit. I was like, I'm not even having fun anymore. Somebody's usually getting punched out. You know what I mean? I'm like, and that was consistent daily. I wasn't having hangovers. That scared me because I was like, I couldn't remember the last time I had a hangover. I was like, oh yeah, if I have to stop drinking to have that. And it started working me. You know what I mean? And that's when I started slowing down. I realized people didn't want to go drink with me no more. I wasn't fun drunk no more. And that's why I was like, you know, what am I doing? I'm like risking the DUI. I'm spending all this money on this stuff. I don't even like the taste. I never drank for the taste. I always drank for the effect. You know, I drank to try to forget, and it just made me remember more. So that didn't work. And yeah, it was just all, I was like, what am I doing? You know, and I started researching into it. And, you know, the inebriation you feel from drinking is your body saying it can't process the alcohol. It's saying, I can't take it. When you drink so much that you throw up, your body's actually finally physically rejecting it. And everybody's like, hey, rage on. You know what I mean? And you're poisoning yourself. Yeah, you're seriously poisoning yourself. And they'll sit there and promote it on the news right before they talk about that devil pot farm that got busted.
Thank God they raided them, though, you know? Thank God they went and kicked his house in.
They got those crooks out of there.
Yep. So. Yeah. You know, we have somebody here, and I respect the hell out of the guy because he still won't say a bad word, you know, about the right cops. But he was a firefighter, had an accident, you know, destroyed his back, destroyed his neck, and he deals with pain every day. And he started smoking, and he promotes it, and he lets people know why he does it. But yeah, he also does a ton for the community, more than a lot of people that are don't do anything that's taboo or anything.
That was just like
But
the
it's cool
migrant.
for us to open 15 more, bars, and oh, it's a family restaurant, so it's cool, and there's video games there, so it's all right, but it's another bar. Like, but we can't do a dispensary here in town. We can't do a smoking lounge here in town. We'll get laughed out of there. And
How many
I
times as a
disagree
kid you
with
get told to go get a beer?
it. Oh man,
How many times you make drinks for your parents and stuff? You imagine having a kid roll a blunt for you?
I learned how to pour beer before I knew how to do anything else around the house.
But God forbid you ask your kid to roll a blunt or to go get your sack for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people lose their mind. You go out in the garden and pick a flower for me is what you're telling them, and
Yep.
people lose their mind. But they'll be like, turn around and tell the kid, hey, go make me another screwdriver.
Yep.
What? It's just pouring vodka and orange juice. Like,
what's the big deal?
yeah, you're telling your kid to go poison you when I'm telling my kid to go
What
out
if your son doesn't roll it all, and he keeps some for himself, and he starts smoking, and he starts smoking in his room? Like, well, what if your kid takes a swig of that vodka,
Yeah, I'm like, I would be more offended that they were hiding in the room and not sharing than, than getting in my stash when it came to that. But alcohol, yeah, I would be upset. And the choices I've made with me is just, they're better. They're more sane. They're more coherent. They're not, with alcohol, I was very, should we say, opportunistic. And
yeah.
any little thing would set me in. Like, I ended up in Mexico one time because one of my buddies said he'd never been. And he was from New York. So we left Fort Irwin and we grabbed a case, and about 8 hours later, we were in Mexico.
Man.
About 12 hours later, they were bailing me out. So,
for me, if it wouldn't have been for cannabis, I wouldn't have that buffer right now, and I wouldn't know that I how to think about being patient, and how to deal with children, and how to deal with kids, and how to go about it the right way. And the biggest thing for me was when I started smoking. I grew up in a drug addict family. Both my biological parents and both my step parents were heroin addicts. And it started because my father was a Marine, beat the hell out of my mom one night. My mom shot him, took 2 ribs, took his left-sided ribs out and everything else. And the medication wasn't strong enough for him anymore. That's why I've always shied away from it. So the medication wasn't strong enough for him more. He started jabbing that vein for that, you know what I mean? And ultimately he committed suicide because of it. That's what's kept me away from suicide all these years, is it leaves you more questions. I'm a survivor of a veteran suicide. I'm telling you right now, it leaves questions. That's it. Why was I not good enough? Was it me? Could I have done something different? Should I have done something different? And people can tell you one way or another, one thing or another. The only one that was cool about it was my uncle. He's like, dude, your dad was an asshole. That's the best way to put it. Like, your dad was an asshole. He was always an asshole. He was going to be an asshole.
I'm a firm believer that when somebody dies, that doesn't make him a saint. I'm good. I will preach truth at everybody's funeral. I promise. That will happen. And if somebody owes me some money, I'm gonna get its family. But
we taught me that I want to be the parent that I didn't have when I was around, and I want to be the parent that I needed. And just smoking just brought these thoughts out. Like, well, how can I do that? What do I need to do different? What should I be doing different? And that's what kind of finally gave me the buffer, because I was doing it before. Because once I got my kids full time, what's the point of fighting with my ex if I was gonna just ignore them and treat them like trash?
That stops a lot of people too. It's custody and child custody and stuff. And I'll tell you what, firsthand in court, they don't care. They don't care no more. They prefer it. The laws just haven't caught up yet. But even law enforcement do not care, because they'll tell you straight up, they have next to 0 violent cannabis calls, and almost every alcohol call is violent. So they were like, we will respond to, anything that revolves cannabis quicker than alcohol, just because it's an easier call. And
but I mean, cannabis would make this job worlds easier. But
I'll tell you one thing, they're starting to stand up like a new ATF for cannabis. It's a new cannabis task force, basically, that's going to be set up to handle the way stuff's distributed, the way stuff's grown, where it's grown, how it's grown, like who can grow, like what's legal use, what's not, what's rec use, what's levels and stuff, like to dictate every aspect of it, which is kind of scary to me, because that's starting a whole new task force, basically.
Yeah, Well, that and it's cutting out the people that fought for it, and it's cutting out the people that sacrificed for it.
Which
You know,
is
and
why it
people that
hasn't
were
been
looked
legal
down
yet.
on it.
They've been prepping
Yeah.
for this because they've had the patent for CBD since like '94 or something like that. '91, the government
Yeah.
has owned that patent. So they've been plotting since before then on how they were going to monetize it and how they're going to be able to corner it and how they're going to best, because it can grow in anybody's backyard. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So how do you monetize that, and how do you tax it, and how do you control it and use it for profit if everybody can do it and everybody has it?
It's gonna be pretty interesting to see how they try to fight this plant. That's gonna be.
It's going to be just as fruitful as the prohibition.
Yeah. Hopefully, because that didn't last. That didn't last.
And one thing that
didn't
sucks is
go
that
very
how
well.
many lives were changed and altered forever over those first felony charges of having cannabis charges that shouldn't have been charges. Because then now that second and third felony are enhanced because they're already felons. You know what I mean? That was never a felony. Like, it's ridiculous. Over this. Like, I don't know. But hey, we're over time anyways, but it don't matter.
All right, cool.
Hey, I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate the last minute jump on.
No problem.
I'll talk to you later. Appreciate everybody
later.
out there. And we're out.